All right, the next one is an average atomic mass problem. It says calculate the average atomic mass of silver if silver has two naturally occurring isotopes with the following masses and Ag107 is 51.54% abundant. So if we look at our periodic table and we go here to silver, we can see that the average atomic mass is 107.87, and that is actually the answer. But you don't want to just do it that way, because if you're given some fictitious element, you have to actually know how to be able to do the math, so it's worth practicing. That being said, these average atomic masses aren't generally calculated by people because they've already been calculated and put on the periodic table, and all the elements we know about are on the periodic table, so it's much easier to just look than having to calculate these every time. But you do need to know how this calculation is done. First thing we need to know is that because silver 107 is 51.54% abundant, that silver 109 is going to be 100, the total, minus 51.54, which is 48.46% abundant. So basically, both of them are 100% abundant because there's only two. If one of them is 51.54, the other one must be 48.46. Now we're simply going to use a weighted average. In order to find the average mass, what we're going to do is take the mass of the isotope. In the case of 107, it's going to be 106.90509 AMU times its percentage as a number, not as a percent, times 0.5154. And then we're going to add it to another one, just how you would calculate your grade in this class. Okay, whatever your lab grade is times 0.25, because it's 25% of your grade. So this one is now the other isotope, 109, which is 108.90476 AMU, times its percentage as, again, a number, not as a percentage, so 0.4846. When you multiply those two things and add them together, you find that this first one is 55.09888 AMU, and the second one is 52.77525 AMU. I'm not going to write all that down right now. And then when you add those two things together, what you find is that the overall is 107.87 AMU. But again, you don't want to just look that up on a periodic table, because a teacher could easily give you one where you can't just look it up. They would say, what is the fictitious element? And then it won't be on the periodic table.